settling into a comfortable position, allowing your body to be fully supported, letting your hands rest naturally, your shoulders release, and your spine align effortlessly. Close your eyes gently or soften your gaze, and turn your attention inward, beginning a journey of self-understanding and inner calm. Take a slow, natural breath in and a gentle, easy exhale, feeling the rise and fall of your chest and belly, noticing the rhythm of life moving through you. Allow each breath to signal to your nervous system that this is a safe, supportive space. Today's session focuses on the inner critic, the voice inside that judges, critiques, or doubts your every move, and learning how to respond with calm, self-compassion, and understanding. Social anxiety is often fueled less by external events and more by the harsh commentary that the mind generates internally. And by learning to soothe this inner voice, the nervous system can relax and interactions become more manageable. Begin by noticing the inner critic as it appears in the mind. Perhaps it warns you before speaking, anticipates embarrassment, or replay negative experiences, exaggerating their significance. Observe these thoughts without resistance or judgment. They are patterns created over time, repeated habits of the mind that once served a protective purpose, keeping you alert, cautious, and aware. These thoughts are not truths, they are learned responses. Simply noticing them without engaging begins to create distance between you and the voice. You are not the voice, you are the observer, the awareness in which these thoughts appear. Bring attention now to the body. Notice any tension that arises in connection with the inner critic, the tightening in your chest, the clenching of your jaw, the slight trembling in your hands or stomach. These are natural reactions to internal judgment. Observe them gently as a signal rather than a command. With each breath, allow relaxation to flow through the body. Imagine tension melting away from the shoulders, face, chest, and belly. Not because you are forcing it, but because safety and awareness allow muscles and tissues to release. The nervous system can begin to recognize that even when judgment arises, it does not require defense or reaction. Calm is accessible, and it coexists with awareness of internal dialogue. Now begin to reframe the inner critic. Imagine this voice as a character or a figure, perhaps a teacher, a guardian, or a protective signal. Understand that its intention is not to harm, but to keep you safe in its own way. By personifying the voice, you allow space to relate rather than to react. Begin to speak internally to the voice, not with anger or force, but with curiosity and compassion. You might say silently, "I see you. I understand your concern. Thank you for trying to keep me safe. I am learning a new way." Allow this acknowledgement to settle in the nervous system. Recognition softens tension, and understanding reduces automatic fear. As you continue to breathe, imagine the inner critic softening. Its tone becomes quieter, less urgent, less insistent. Each breath allows more space for calm, self-compassion, and presence. The mind learns that it can think critically without amplifying fear, that judgment can exist without controlling action. Visualize your mind as a sky, and the inner critic as a cloud drifting through. You do not need to push it away or fight it. You simply observe it, allowing it to float, changing shape, and eventually passing. Awareness replaces resistance. Calm replaces tension. Now imagine a social situation where the inner critic typically becomes active, a conversation, a meeting, or a group setting. Notice what arises in your mind. Perhaps there's a warning about saying the wrong thing, being judged, or appearing awkward. Observe these thoughts as familiar, not as commands. Allow them to exist without escalating. Picture yourself responding with steady presence rather than reacting to judgment. Each inhalation brings acceptance. Each exhalation releases tension. You are capable of engaging without needing approval or validation from the inner critic. Bring awareness to the sensations of self-compassion. Imagine warmth spreading through your chest, a softening in the throat, an openness in your shoulders, a gentle grounding in your feet. These sensations are evidence that the nervous system can tolerate internal critique without panic. Social anxiety loses intensity when the inner critic's influence diminishes. Observe the contrast between tension-driven anticipation and compassionate awareness. This contrast teaches the nervous system that judgment does not require retreat or avoidance. Now create a gentle phrase or mantra that reinforces this process. Perhaps something like, "I am learning, I am safe. I can be kind to myself." Let it emerge naturally, felt rather than repeated forcefully. Each repetition anchors safety, self-trust, and resilience. Imagine this phrase integrating with every breath, every heartbeat, every cell in your body. The nervous system learns that internal safety is available, independent of external validation. Anxiety begins to diminish as self-compassion grows. Visualize yourself in future social situations. Picture yourself speaking, listening, or interacting, while the inner critic is present but quieted. Notice how attention can remain outwardly focused, connected to conversation and engagement rather than to fear or judgment. Each successful visualization strengthens neural pathways for calm, confident, and compassionate self-presence. The mind begins to automatically respond to anxiety with regulation rather than avoidance. The body follows naturally. Breath remains steady, posture upright yet relaxed, attention alert yet calm. Confidence grows from the internal shift rather than external reassurance. Now expand this awareness to your daily interactions. Picture minor social challenges, small talk, group discussions, brief encounters with strangers, and observe how self-compassion maintains calm. Notice the difference between a reactive, judgment-driven approach and a present, accepting approach. Each time you allow yourself to respond with kindness, the nervous system updates its expectations. Fear no longer dictates behavior. Presence, awareness, and self-trust guide responses. Each interaction reinforces the new baseline of calm, safe, and grounded engagement. Bring attention again to the body, scanning from head to toe. Notice any areas of residual tension and imagine breathing into them, allowing muscles and tissues to release, softening and expanding with each breath. Feel the warmth, lightness, and steadiness that self-compassion brings. Recognize that your nervous system can now tolerate the inner critic without reacting, and that presence and awareness are stronger than habitual judgment. Now imagine the inner critic's voice appearing over time in different situations. Observe it calmly, responding with recognition and compassion. Notice how your body and mind respond differently than before. The voice is still there, but it no longer controls you. You remain present, steady, and capable. Imagine this new relationship with the inner critic becoming habitual. Each observation and gentle response reinforces automatic regulation, confidence, and internal stability. Bring focus to your breathing once more. Notice the rise and fall of the chest, the subtle movement of the belly, the natural rhythm that signals calm, awareness, and safety. Each breath anchors self-compassion, resilience, and presence. The nervous system associates breath and awareness with internal safety, reducing the intensity of anxious anticipation. Confidence becomes embodied rather than intellectual, a felt sense that remains available in all social contexts. Now imagine integrating this awareness into your daily life. Picture situations where the inner critic once dominated, and see yourself responding differently, acknowledging, softening, observing, and continuing with calm focus. Each scenario strengthens self-trust, resilience, and adaptive regulation. Anxiety begins to diminish because it no longer has unchecked influence. The nervous system learns to operate from a foundation of safety, self-compassion, and awareness, rather than fear.